20th Street in Saskatoon has a reputation for crime, substance use, and homelessness. But talk to people who live and work here, and they see it as so much more. Hi, Monica, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
For Monica Ermine, 20th Street is home. She's been a sex trade worker here for 2 decades. Ermine struggles with substance use disorder, and she says this is the only place in the city where people look out for each other.
If it wasn't for 20th Street, I think I would be gone.
Ermine says the challenges facing 20th Street are not unique to the West Side.
In all cities, it's like that, It's just territorial. I don't know why, but it's just we should all learn to get along and actually work with each other instead of fighting each other. And I think it's coming along now, actually.
And there are plenty of people willing to help on 20th.
Hi, how are you, Larissa?
Inside the Saskatoon Community Clinic, we meet Dr. Larissa Kiesman. She helps hundreds of patients in crisis. The clinic is one of the organizations that attracts vulnerable people to the area because help is scarce in other parts of the city.
For a lot of individuals, this is a great place for them to be. They have access to many community-based organizations down this whole strip of the city, and the organizations that are doing the hard work of filling those gaps in the community, feeding people, housing people, connecting them to culture, connecting them to healthcare, that's all here.
20th Street seems to have everything a resident of Saskatoon could need, from attending church to accessing a supervised consumption site to buying flowers at this flower shop. It has been around for more than 30 years, so I wanted to learn what about this neighborhood has kept its owner here.
Jennifer Sanger says 20th Street is a vibrant community.
There's a big Ukrainian community, there's a lot of immigrants, there's a lot of elderly, there's a lot of First Nations, there's so many different ethnic groups down here that you're missing out on a lot by not coming down here.
A customer once told Sanger a bridge should be built over 20th Street so people could bypass the neighborhood.
Even from the time I was a kid, 20th had a stigma attached to it. And I'd like to see that broken because, like I said, there's a lot of great people in this neighborhood.
Not far from the edge of Riversdale is Primal Pasta. Owner and chef Christy Peters is committed to revitalizing this area. So much so, she's opened a second location across the street.
Really tasty.
While working in Vancouver, Peters saw parallels between the downtown east side and 20th Street in Saskatoon.
I saw this beautiful restaurant thriving right next to the safe injection site, right next to the homeless shelter, right next to a beautiful boutique. So there was all these things happening in the same neighborhood, and I took note of that.
Peters says people shouldn't avoid 20th Street. They should spend more time here.
If you want your neighborhood to be safe, then go out and walk around in your neighborhood. And the more people that go out and walk around in the neighborhood, the safer it becomes.
Monica Ermine wants the same for 20th Street. For her and others who have made their lives here, the west side is not the wrong side of town. Pratish Dayal, CBC News, Saskatoon.